Welcome to this video on K3 Fashion. We will show you how the solution offers efficient tools to manage inventory levels in your fashion stores. Fashion companies that run their own stores need to manage the inventory levels in those stores in all phases of the product life cycle of their collections. This concerns the initial quantities that need to be sent to each store at the beginning of a season, the replenishment of stock levels during the season, and the recall or balancing of remaining quantities at the end of the season. K3 Fashion offers efficient functionality to handle all of this for the large numbers of styles, each with many different colors and sizes in all your stores, which make up every seasonal collection. Let's describe a realistic example. Your fashion company has 100 stores and your summer 2020 collection holds no less than 150 styles. On average, each style has 3 colors and 10 sizes. This means you need to set up your initial division at the beginning of the season and the replenishment during the season for as many as 100 times 150 times 3 times 10 possible combinations. The resulting number is dazzling, 450,000. And then we're not even talking about the so-called never out of stock products, which run for multiple seasons or even years in a row. K3 Fashion makes it easy to create all the necessary settings largely automatically. We are now looking at a screen which consists of 3 main parts. The part where we select for which styles we want to use the same settings. The part where we indicate for which stores these settings apply. And finally, the part with the actual numbers and min-max settings that manage when and how many should be sent to every store. In the example, we have included all men's jeans, all dresses, and all coats and jackets. We have excluded one specific style in the group of the men's jeans, the 320503. In the second part, we have indicated the 3 stores for which we want to apply the same settings for the selected products. You can either add stores one by one manually to the list or select complete groups of stores from the organization hierarchy you defined. For example, all flagship stores or all outlet stores or all stores in a specific region. This could mean that by selecting one group of stores, you easily add 47 stores with 2 clicks. In the third part, we can set up the quantities we want to use. In case of initially loading a new collection into your stores, you only need to define the maximum number, because a minimum number has no value because there will be no stock of these products in any of your stores because it is a new collection. In case of replenishment during the season and in case of the so-called never out of stock products, you need to define both a minimum and a maximum. You only need to enter the required total quantities per style color. K3 Fashion uses ratio curves to divide these totals over the sizes automatically. Ratio curves are a rich functionality which is explained in detail in one of our other videos. But I will show an example here where if I edit the plan and I'm going to change the total minimum of 36 into 24, it will use the standard relative ratio curve which is indicated here to define those 24 over the different sizes. You see that visualized in the graph on the right side. I do the same with the max, increase the total to 72, you see the result visualized in the graph on the right side. After selecting the products and stores and setting up the required quantities as shown, we now only need to click Publish in the ribbon of the screen. K3 Fashion will then create the settings for all possible combinations which we have seen could easily add up to tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of settings. Imagine you would need to create those manually, one by one. The settings are called item coverage records, and here is a list of all the item coverage records created based on this one plan. When running the so-called master planning, K3 Fashion will use these settings to automatically create the required transfer orders from your central warehouse to all your stores to replenish them. At the end of a season, you need to establish what to do with the remaining quantities that are scattered over your stores. Do you want to get them all back to your central warehouse so you can ship them to 1 or 2 outlet stores or sell them to a trader? Or do you want to concentrate them in complete and size and color ranges in those stores where the sales chances are the highest? K3 Fashion enables you to easily set up the rules to have the system carry out this inventory recall and inventory balancing, as we call it, with automatically created transfer orders, either from your stores to the central warehouse or between individual stores as a result. We're now looking at the setup of an inventory recall. In the middle part of the screen we see the stores we have selected to include in this recall. This selection was done in the same way as we saw earlier in this video. In the bottom part of the screen we see the selected styles. This could for instance be based on a selection of all products in a certain category from a certain season or collection. The important details of this setup are found under the Update Quantity option in the ribbon. Here we can define how many products should be sent back by the stores or how many should be kept and what the result would be that should be sent back. We can define the recall quantity, telling the stores if we put 0 here, they have to send back everything. If we put a specific quantity here and they have more than that, they have to keep the surplus. We can define a percentage, so we can tell them send back 70% of everything you still have and keep 30, or the other way around. Or we can do it completely the other way around. We tell the stores how much they should keep, and everything they have more than that they should send back, or let them keep as much as they need for another 3 or 5 or 10 sales days, and the system will base that number on the actual sales history of every specific store. After setting up the right product and store selections and quantity settings, you only need to click Create Order and K3 Fashion will create all the necessary transfer orders. The process for inventory balancing is similar as that of inventory recall with 2 important differences. The resulting transfer orders in the case of recall will be between the stores and the central warehouse, and in case of balancing will be between individual stores. For inventory balancing, you can set up that only certain stores are allowed to transfer to certain other stores, thus preventing goods to travel too large distances, for example. As said, the result is automatic creation of transfer orders. This could easily concern dozens or hundreds or many hundreds of transfer orders, which you normally would have to create manually and can now have the system create in a few minutes. Thank you for watching this video on retail inventory management in K3 Fashion. We hope you liked it. For more information on the rich functionality our solution offers for your fashion company, watch our other videos.